Striped bass. All in this shallow spot back here, this hump. Water's cold still, 55 degrees. Stripers under us. Those long white lines are stripers there. We're looking off to the right and off to the left here. In the middle, that's the keel of the boat. Stripers there. Stripers all through here, and they're higher in the water column. So you see that all those stripers there, that's the shadows. When the shadows are that far from the actual fish, that means they're higher in the water column, which can be really good news. It means they're active, you know, moving around. They're not all hunkered up on the bottom, you know, they're on the prow. There's some off here to the left. Lots of fish in here. All right, so we're coming through here now, and we're seeing all these stripers all spread out through here. Big flat area. And first I'm gonna run all through here. And I'm gonna pass all the way through. And I'm just gonna keep on going and see how long I mark them for. Then I'm gonna come over here on my chart and we'll go up current, upwind, and we'll try to stay on that same track line that we're leaving. So that's our track line we're leaving right there. And as long as I'm driving over fish the whole time, I know that if we drift on that track line, we're gonna go right through those fish that we just marked. So it's a real simple little trick. It's not super complex, but it is very effective. So we're up on top of a hump right here. All right, we came down the hump, and there's a pile of stripers sitting in there. When you start marking fish spread out like that, pay attention to your track line. Run at a nice even pace until you stop marking them, then run back up current. Right when you started marking them, just drift along that track line. Just when you get close, obviously don't go across the current or back, go with the current. So your track line is with the current, then you will drift with the current as well. So if we went like across the current right now, the track line wouldn't help us because we drift. The track goes this way, we would drift this way, and it wouldn't help us. So the wind's at our back, the current's at our back. You get in here, look. All these white marks here, those are all stripers. Those are the shadows. They're very high in the water column. It's great news. All right, if you see here, they're starting to get a little thinner. There's still fish here, but a little thinner. So we're gonna turn around and go upwind and start right back at the beginning of our track line. All right, so now look here. We're making our U-turn. And I'm gonna go right back up to where our track line started, where we started marking fish. And if you look up now, we're going into the wind. And we're gonna let the wind just push us across, and we're just gonna cast and jig and use whatever baits we want. We have a nice long drift across really fertile water because we saw those fish in there. And now we found them. That's the hard part, right? That's the hard part. Now we gotta figure out what they want to eat. Catch a snotchel. Okay, if you look down over here, I'm to the left of our track, and if you look, we're not marking really much of anything at all. It's funny how, right, that one little track was nice and fertile, and we don't see really anything just to the left. So that's why it's important to go use your tracks. All right, so we are running up right next to that track line. As we're getting closer to it, you can see there's the fish. Left, right, and center. Here they are under us. It's really good looking stuff. I'm using the Airmar B175 high wide. It's a fantastic transducer, especially for striped bass because we don't go super deep. And I like that really wide cone so we can mark fish kind of not just straight down, but in a nice wide cone so we can see more fish. You see that?
Look at that pile.
That's a snotchel, bro.
The whole snotchel.
I'll go ahead and drop a waypoint on it.
Not a partial snotchel, but the entire.
Because that's a nice tight group. I want to make sure we try to drift over that as best we can. The wind's switching just a little bit now.
Yeah.
It's switching a little bit. Of course it's switching. All right, so instead of the wind coming with the track, it's shifting slightly this way. So We're gonna go to the right side a little bit, maybe crisscross it a little bit. All right, so we have a big hump that's right here to the right. Wind is pushing this way, current's pushing this way. And you can see that's, the hump is off here to our right. Starting to see those fish already. That hump. Go ahead and cast, guys. Man, that's just fantastic. See all that. Look at that side scan, guys. Look at the down scan. Dude, there's no way we're all not going to hook up here. No way. There's this fish fighting up here, and that's the fish on his jig right there that he's fighting. Lots of fish to the right. Good little bend you got in that rod. Look at that, guys. That just really gets me excited. Which camera? Look at that little guy on that hookup bait there. What a mess. Actually, dude, that's somebody else's braid. That's not even his. All right, so when you're out looking for stripers, the first thing you have to do or pay attention to is you have to figure out what these fish are relating to, okay? You can see these fish are kind of spread out, but if you look, you see there's a hump right here, right? So although these fish are spread out, when we get to the cluster of fish, the fish that are positioning where they're going to feed, they're relating to the structure on the bottom. In this case, it's a hump. They're relating to that hump, and they're using that hump to feed. Current comes through, bigger fish have to work hard in current. The bigger they are, the more the current, the harder they have to work, and they don't want to do that. They'll get behind these humps and little depressions in the bottom, anything to get a break out of that current, and wait for bait fish to come by. You know, ambush. And you can see we're coming up on the hump, and you can see how those arches are right there on that hump as we come up. See that there? So we know that this group of fish here is relating to the hump. So if I didn't see fish spread out, so if I came out here and I only saw the fish sitting on that hump right there, and those are the only fish I marked, and it was thick and they were all together, I would cut bait fish there. I would anchor up right on top of that hump, and I just drop cut bait right on their heads. But we're not only seeing the fish on that hump there, but they're actually spread out as well. So we're coming down the hump, and you can see we're still seeing some around the bottom. You can see those marks right there. Stripers a little bit on the bottom. So right when the hump flattens out, that's where the thick concentration is. So that's what they're related to right there. They're relating to that little bottom of the hump, right where it goes from the ledge dropping off to the flat bottom, right in there. They're relating to that. So, and they're there because they want to feed. They're staying out of the current, just looking for bait to come by. So we're going to drift by with the current. We're going to throw the baits, our casting up current, and pull them down with the current. So we could probably catch some fish if we threw down current and pulled up, but that's not the direction they're facing. They're facing, so they're waiting for those fish to come by. You know, so we want to cast up current, work our baits down current, so it passes in front of them when they're ready in their ambush position. We don't want to do the opposite. We don't want to throw down current and pull up, because bait fish, you know, it's not very natural for a bait fish to swim up against the current for no reason, right? And they're not, the bass won't be faced that way. Just little things like that, you know, that you can still catch plenty of fish casting all different directions, but you really want to maximize your time and really concentrate your efforts. You got to think about stuff like that. All right, so we're not quite marking them the same. I'm going to go ahead and start our drift right here. I'm going to cut the wheel so our guys can cast off the side, you know. You give them a lot more room in the boat to cast off the side versus just off the bow or the stern. So.
Stop reeling. I'm looking to see what you're talking about. And the thing's dead on the bottom. Slacked out.
That's the Judge rod. That's Rich Colson's Judge.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go. Thank you, baby. You made my day.
Pretty fish.
Your turn, baby.
Thumb sucker, you're fine.
All right, Eric is modeling our 2023 old school fishing jersey. He enjoys long walks on the beach, reading Tolstoy, and rubbing.
And shoulder rubs.
His name is Eric. Eric's wearing the Team Old School jersey with the gravy stains, custom. BBA jerseys, man, these guys are fantastic.
Gravy
Family
stains,
deal.
No, that's a blood stain.
That's blood, that's fish blood. But this guy, he designed this jersey all completely. I didn't give him anything. I just sent him the, really just the files for these, and he did everything. And I've had jerseys made before, and they send me like 100 different things to look through and send them back and forth and go. Honestly, the first jersey that he sent was this one here. Tourist, let's see what you got on there. This is the first one he did, which I love. It's fantastic. Of course, it's all covered up, but it's got the, you know, the scales on it, and it's got the shadow, and it says Team Old School down the arms. I mean, it is just really slick. So he sent me one. He sent me this. I said, yep, do it. It was perfect. Then I said, for next year, maybe we'll just do a little different one. Just the hoodies this time, not just jerseys and the hoodies. And he sent this, and I said, yeah, do it. Perfect. So he was 2 for 2. He's just so good at what he does, man. I mean, he picked all the fonts and everything. So Jimmy over there at BBA, I'll put a link for his email down in the description if you guys want to order jerseys for your team. If you want to buy our Team Old School jerseys, this one says Team Old School on the arms as well. And I mean, just such a slick looking jersey. Now what's different about these hoodies is it's not like a hoodie that you would just buy at a store, like the AFCO hoodies we wear that like I have one on right now. Actually, it's the same price as like an AFCO hoodie or any other like Under Armour or something like that. But these are designed to be worn hard outside in the sun, in the weather. He's got one here that is, I don't know, is this the 3rd year with this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 3rd year. He's got the first one here. You can still get this one in a jersey or a hoodie, and you can get this one in a jersey or a hoodie. And the difference is in the cost is these will still look good. I mean, 10 years from now. I had some of these. As a matter of fact, he was wearing one of the older ones. It's about probably 10, 12 years old, and it still looks good. It's really like a jersey material, like a sports jersey. So if you want to order one, it's a great way to help support us and support BBA and help support our sponsors. Although we don't competition fish anymore, we used to do the NSBA fishing, freshwater striper tournaments for years. Had a blast doing it, and that's why we started making these. But I still wanted to make it just as a thank you to our sponsors and our partners and stuff, that different companies we work with. If you see a company on these jerseys here, number one, first and foremost, they're great people, period. I've had some really lucrative deals and offers come through, but the people just weren't right for us. And it's important for me and for all the guys here. We're older now. We don't have time for the BS, you know what I mean? We just want to be around good people who make good quality stuff, who stand behind their products, who bleed their product, and who are old school. And if you want to get one of these jerseys, we sure would appreciate it. It does support us, and it supports BBA, and it supports all our awesome sponsors. Right, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Let alone they're warm.
And the jerseys are, I mean, they're just so cool with American flags and everything.
Yes, they are.
They did a great job. Towards the Vietnam veteran, and he approves.
Absolutely, 110%. Couldn't be any more comfortable.
Jeremy, you ready to catch a snotchel?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You ready to catch a snotchel?
Yeah.
The whole
Try again.
You ready to catch a snotchel? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, take 4. Jeremy, you ready to catch a snotchel?
Yes, sir.
Attaboy. Ain't nothing left but to do it, brother.
Bonehead.
Ain't nothing left but to do it.
What?
All right.
A snotzel.
Snotchel.
Snotzel.
a large quantity.
That's what was confusing him. He's like, oh, snotchel?
He's like, I never caught one of them
I
before.
don't want to catch a snotchel. That sounds painful.
No, that comes with penicillin.